So today I thought I would make a video because it is Pride Month in the US, and I thought I would talk about my sexuality, because a lot of people seem to be interested in that kind of thing, or wonder about certain things, or ask questions, and just thought I would talk about it. For those of you who don't know, I am asexual, which is defined by a person that does not experience sexual attraction to any gender. Well, there are several different romantic orientations. That is different from sexual orientation. There's three, actually. I'm reading some notes on my phone because I don't have all this memorized. But asexual, just plain regular asexual, is just somebody who does not experience sexual attraction. Then there is gray A and demisexual, which is a person who does not experience sexual attraction unless they form a strong emotional connection with someone. And then there is a sexual person, which is obviously a person who experiences sexual attraction. For the romantic orientations, there is heteromantic, which is similar to heterosexual, except the romantic orientation means it's like everything except sex, basically. A person who is romantically attracted to a member of the opposite sex or gender. Then you have homoromantic, which is a person romantically attracted to a member of the same sex or gender. Biromantic, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll go through it. A person who is romantically attracted to two sexes or genders. Panromantic, a person who is romantically attracted to others but is not limited by other sex or gender. They feel that their partner's gender does little to define their relationship. And then you have aromantic, which is a person who experiences little or no romantic attraction to others, where romantic people have an emotional need to be with another person in a romantic relationship. Aromantics are often satisfied with friendships and other non-romantic relationships. There are all kinds of different combinations, and obviously people who don't label themselves, and I think it's important to mention that obviously you don't have to put a label on yourself if you don't feel like that's necessary or that you want to do that. I personally enjoy having the label of asexual, and also, for those of you who don't know, I'm heteromantic, so I do experience romantic attraction to males, but it makes me feel like I belong somewhere, like I fit in somewhere. It's more comforting to me. So, a couple of questions about asexuality that people might have. Is it like celibacy or abstinence? In short, no. These are both choices. So if you're choosing to abstain from sex, then that's a choice, obviously. Asexuality is a sexual orientation, so it is not a choice. And I did not choose to be asexual. I only chose to label myself as that because it fits how I feel. I only found out about asexuality about, I want to say it was like 2 years ago now, and when I found out about it, I was like, oh my gosh, there are other people that feel this way, because I always felt like I was weird or that I just hadn't grown into it yet. I'm 20 years old now, so I kept thinking, well, when I get older maybe, when I get older maybe, when I get older maybe, and then I just kept getting older and it never came. And I remember thinking that maybe there's something wrong with me, maybe I need to talk to somebody about it, but the more that I thought about it, the more I'm okay with it. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing out at all, and a lot of sexual people will say, you are missing out, like, you don't know until you've tried it, and you don't know what you're missing, and the way that I respond to that is that you don't have to touch a cactus to know that you're not going to like touching a cactus. Like, if it doesn't look like it, you're going to enjoy it. And obviously this isn't the case in every scenario, but I feel like for something as important and meaningful and big as sex, like, if you know that you don't want it, then you don't need convincing. And you don't need to try it to know that you don't want it. I feel like a lot of asexual people might be coerced into having sexual relations with somebody because they think, well, how do I know if I don't try it? Because people will tell them that all the time. Another way that you can come at that question or that statement that I found on asexuality.org, which is a great site for resources and information. The phrase is, "That's silly, they just need to try it / find the right person." And the response is, "Most people don't need to have sex to know to whom they're attracted, so it doesn't make sense to say that to someone. She's not straight, she just hasn't met the right girl yet." Like, you don't say that to people, or maybe they do, but it doesn't make any sense, because the way that you feel about it is how you feel about it. You're not gonna, I mean, yes, sexuality is a spectrum, and I may change my mind 20 years down the road, I may change my mind 10 years down the road, and I may have sexual attraction to people, but that doesn't negate my past experience or my current experience, because that's how I feel right now. And the same with people who thought they were straight their whole life, or were straight, and then found out that they were gay or down the road. That doesn't mean they were lying their whole lives. They just may not have known, because we're always learning about ourselves and changing. And I feel like a lot of people forget that, but also it's kind of difficult to say that as an asexual, because of the reason that people always say, well, you'll change your mind, you'll grow into it, you'll find a person and change your mind. You know, that's such a common argument, and it gets irritating after a while, because it feels like they don't take us seriously because we might change our mind. You know what I mean? So, like, obviously, yes, it is a spectrum and it changes, but I don't like to really discuss that because of those reasons. Anyways, I don't know everything about everything. I am just learning about all this stuff myself, because, like I said, I only found out about asexuality a couple years ago, so I'm still learning and trying to understand some of it and come to terms, I guess, with it, because, like, I'm really comfortable with that label, but at the same time, it's also very hard sometimes to talk about it because of the stigma attached to it. Like, I'm still getting comfortable saying it to certain people because of all the reasons I said before. I've had people say that I just need to try it, or that I'm just too young, or that I'll change my mind, and I haven't changed my mind, and even if I did, it wouldn't mean that what I was feeling wasn't valid, which I've already said, but I just felt the need to reiterate, because it's quite frustrating when you're trying to discuss it with someone and they don't take you seriously. That's another big thing, is that there must be something wrong with you. You should go see a doctor about that. And the way that I know that it's not something that I did to myself, like with medications or lifestyle or whatever, is because it's been consistent, like, long before I started taking any kind of, you know, a lot of antidepressants have that side effect of decreased interest in sex and low sex drive and all that. My dogs just started barking and going nuts. Anyways, that is a very common side effect of a lot of antidepressants, and I felt that way long before I started any of those. And, you know, when you go into puberty and you start thinking about that kind of stuff and all of that, I never once considered, like, that I would ever have sex with anybody. I had zero curiosity, I had zero interest in anything. Like, obviously I was educated about it in health class, and doing research and all that, but I never in my entire life thought, wow, I think I would like to have sex one day. And just the thought of me having sex is like really, really weird to me and grosses me out. Like, I literally have zero interest in it whatsoever. I just really like the innocent aspect of a relationship. I love cuddling and holding hands and like gentle kissing. I say gentle because like I don't really like making out or anything. Yeah, another thing is that I have fallen in love before, twice, and I still had no desire to have sex with them. So that's another thing. That's another reason that I know that I'm asexual and not gray. I guess that's it. Sorry if I rambled too much or didn't answer any of your questions or if this wasn't helpful at all. There's a YouTuber named Simply Kenna. I will link a video of hers that she did. She's aromantic asexual, so she does not have sexual or romantic attraction. She did a Q&A all about all of that might answer some more of your questions. It is really comforting to know that such a big YouTuber is open and honest about that part, because it's like, I feel like a special connection to her because of that. Because obviously there aren't, well, that I know of, there aren't very many asexual people out there that are open and talking about it. I'll link that below if you have any questions, see if she might have answered them. If you have any questions for me, I will answer them in the comments. Feel free to leave as many as you would like, and I will get to them. If you're new here and this is your first video, please hit subscribe and like this video if you liked it. And I think that's it. So I will see you in my next video. Bye.